WIAA requires good sportsmanship and reputation-based sporting events. Attendance at interscholastic activities is a privilege and the expectation to exhibit positive and respectful behavior. Our schools value the diversity of our student athletes, coaches, officials, spectators, and we expect all participants and fans to treat others with dignity and respect. Hate speech, discriminatory language, or behavior directed at any individual or group will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. For the enjoyment and respect of all in attendance, your cooperation in demonstrating the high ideals of sportsmanship is expected and greatly appreciated. At this time, please rise, remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. And now for tonight's starting lineups. Starting for the Crosse. Number 2, Jax Hendrickson. Number 4, Max Brubaker. Number 6, Ari Dudek. Number 17, Devin Callum. Number 21, Milo Kemp. Number 23, Logan Sauter. Number 26, Tim Newman. Number 28, Alex Salmon. Number 31, James Melton. And number 44, Brett Youngman. Starting for your Sauk Prairie Eagles, number 3, Cannon Esser. Number 4, Lucas Railinger. Number 5, Brock Hill. Number 7, Landon Frazee. Number 9, Caden Argo. Number 14, Drew Strackman. Number 15, Noah Kedover. Number 17, Caleb Chetwood. Number 22, A.J. Clem. And number 41, Xander Kellogg.
All right, folks, there you heard the starting lineups for today's matchup between the Lacrosse Lightning and the Sauk Prairie Eagles. This is round 1 of the WIAA Lacrosse Boys Playoffs. And these two teams get matched up in the first round. Lightning come into this match as the 19th seed in their section. And Sauk Prairie comes in as the 14th seed. So higher seed hosting the lower seed. So we are at Sauk Prairie's high school field, which is a very nice facility. Always enjoy coming here to the Sauk Prairie facilities. And the Lightning are in their all maroon jerseys with the white helmets, whereas the Sauk Prairie Eagles will sport their all white look for today's action. So getting ready to start things off, we've got Alex Famines. Looks like he's poised to take the face-off for the Lightning. And right away, we've got a quick whistle as maybe somebody left early. It was called by the referee on the far side, so that might have been Clem, their DSM, that got called for coming out of the box a little too early. In any case, well, I take that back. That was actually awarded to the Sauk team, so it must have been a Lightning player that came out early. In goal, starting for in goal for the Lightning is it was announced as number 17, Colin, but it looks like it's actually got Owen Sauter out there, number 10. No, I take that back. I think Colin is wearing number 10. That's not his usual number. So we'll get this straightened out here yet. Ball on the near side. Looking for a cutter there, not there. Ball gets bounced up and around. Ball is loose, comes away with it. Jax Hendrickson, who's playing some early midi to start this game. He usually camps out at the attacked end, but Hendrickson playing some defense at the midfield possession. Ball comes loose, and it's still loose as Luke Boberg had it for a moment. And I didn't see what happened there, but Seehafer is going to start the action again for the Lightning. In goal for the Eagles is Ranglinger. He's a senior goalie here at Sauk Prairie High School. This is Dudek trying to get past number 3 for the Eagles, who does a nice job of knocking that ball loose. Still loose as teams are really scrumming for it. And out of it comes the Eagles, but quickly lose it again. As Dudek put a body check on that knocked that one loose. Here's Salmons trying to corral it at the midfield. And not able to do it. Here comes the Eagles. They'll get a touch and they'll pull back. Knocked out by number 23. That's Logan Sauter. Logan Sauter sporting the deep hole, which is a change. We haven't seen a lot of that this year either. So a couple wrinkles we see right away in the first quarter. Now the Eagles trying to get their substitutes in as they go to work. Being defended over there on the far side. Here comes number 2. That's Arietta. Arietta tries a soft shot that's easily nabbed by Column. Column dishes it off to Brubaker. Brubaker looking for somebody in the middle of the field. Looking for, I believe that's Luke Adams wearing 36 today. That ball's loose. Gets all the way down to Raylinger, who will push it forward. Adams tries to get it, but Brubaker falls down defending Chetwood. Chetwood's a dangerous player out there. Now the ball's in the X. Gets around Adams. Stick is loose. Ball is loose, but corralled by Arietta. Now ball on the far side. Defending by Meldy. Up top, near side now. Here comes 17. He's going to go to work. He's one of their main offensive weapons here for the Eagles. And they're going to get him for a award, I believe. Turns the ball over to the Lightning. Roberts will try to spin out of trouble. He does. Takes a shot to the head. Draws the yellow flag, which will mean a penalty on the Eagles. But they'll get a chance to finish this opportunity, which ends in a easy save by Raylinger, as Roberts just couldn't get much on that one. But we're going to get a shot to the head, and that's going to be a locked-in penalty. I couldn't see if that's it's usually a two-minute penalty when they lock it in. So, big penalty call there. I was expecting just kind of the 1 minute regular variety, but they get the 2 minute locked in penalty. So big opportunity for the Lightning. There's a shot by Hendrickson. Blocked. Still loose. Hendrickson trying to get the ball back. Dudek's in there as well. And comes away from his Morrow. Morrow trying to get rid of it. And gets it to the middle. Now Sauk's going to try to kill this penalty, I would assume. As you don't want to mess around when you have a locked-in variety. What that means, locked in, is that even if the Lightning score, the Eagles still have to sit their penalty time until it expires. So, and there's going to be a penalty on the Lightning. This is Mast, number 8, on the near wing. Brings it across. I think Sauk's going to try to, again, kind of kill this as long as they can. Ball down near the crease. 41's got a chance. Shot is wide. Shot by Kellogg. He had a nice feed, right, sitting right on the crease. Turned over his left shoulder and got a shot off, but we're going to have a timeout now as the Lightning will get their penalty assessed. So both teams will be down a player when we come out of this timeout. The Eagles come into this matchup with a record of with an overall record of 7-8. Had a nice year after kind of some struggles last year, but didn't lose many of their top players from last year, and have had a nice season so far at 7-8 overall. They finished 4-6 in the conference, which was good for 7th out of the 11 teams in the Badger. Meanwhile, Lightning, fresh off of their second victory of the season in their regular season finale when they beat Wayland Academy. But they come into this one with an overall record of 2-12 and 1-9 in the conference. So that victory over Wayland last week got them a conference victory. So they finished 10th out of 11th in the conference. Like I said, many of the top teams here in the first round of the playoff get a bye, but these two teams square off, fighting for the right to play again on Friday. Okay, so the ball is going to be on the near alley. Sauk ball. As the penalty has been assessed. And the Sauk Prairie has run out, so they are back to full strength, whereas the Lightning are down to 5 defending column. So good job by the Sauk Eagles to kill that penalty. That a locked in a penalty. They did a good job of burning the time off the clock. Eagles working around, trying to get it to Chetwood. He's their scorer, and he scores. Number 17, Caleb Chetwood, continues his nice season on the offensive end. As Chetwood's goal makes it 1-0. Chetwood does lead this team in goals. He's got 36 on the year, which is far and away the top scorer on this team. So certainly got to believe he's a focal point of the defensive game plan for the Lightning. Face-off win by Sauk. Sauk working it down. Everyone's back to full strength. Trying to get through traffic is crazy. Pulls it out and Sauk sets up their offense. They get some subs on. As they initiate their offense. Balls to the top. Tries to work around Boberg. That one's off the mark. Collin might have got a piece of that one. It's going to stay with the Sauk Eagles. Chetwood, he's got a one-on-one opportunity. Slides a little late, but he bounces one too high in front of Collin. Dangerous spot there with Chetwood. Oh, comes around the corner. That's not Chetwood. That was actually 41. That was Kellogg. Came around the corner to get Sauk their second goal.
Sauk Prairie goal scored by number 41, Xander Kellogg.
So Kellogg was working out of the X. Came around, good design there as far as Kellogg working his way from the X. Attacking from Chetwood's side, which can't blame the Chetwood defender for not coming off and helping. Don't want to leave their most dangerous offensive player, but Kellogg made the play. There we got a held ball by Sauk as they came out of that face-off and just got it stuck in his cross a little bit. Can't keep it on the backside of that cross after a face-off for more than about a second, or they're going to call you for it. So here we go. Temp is in the X. Temp works around to the far side. Gets it up top now to Seehafer. Back over to Temp on the far side. Temp will work to the top. Hendrickson now. Hendrickson shadowed by Clem. We saw that a lot in their first meeting early in the season where Clem was a shadow on Hendrickson. Boberg tries to feed into the crease and a goal. That's Owen Sauter. As Boberg saw Sauter come loose and put a nifty dime right on him that allowed Sauter to catch and shoot and get the Lightning on the board.
Lacrosse goal scored by number 23, Logan Sauter.
So a nice play there with Lightning running a little bit of action up top. A little bit of a weave with Seehafer and Boberg and Hendrickson. And then as everyone's watching that action, Logan Sauter sneaks in front of the crease. Ball is still loose. And Sauk comes away with it. Sauk has had some success this year facing off. They've got their main face-off guy, Frazee, wins at about a 69% clip, which is outstanding. So that could be a big factor in this game. We'll have to see how it plays out. Ball works around to the, now is on the near side. Salmon's defending up top. Now goes to the far wide where Brubaker picks him up. Works through Salmon and Brubaker communicating there, handoff. They leave 5 alone. He gets a shot off. I think both Brubaker and Salmon thought the other was going to stay with 5. And Hill got a wide open shot off, but off the mark. There's a shot and save. Saved by Collum as he took it right off the chest. Beautiful play by Collum on that one. Here's Sehay for number 9, starting the action. He's going to try to get it. Just off the mark to Temp. That one's going to roll all the way near the corner. And coming away with it's number 26, Tim Newman. So good job by Newman to get that ball and can retain possession for the Lightning. Near side, Hendrickson. Hendrickson tries to come down his hill. He'll try a shot that goes high. Newman starts the action, gets it to Temp. Temp coming off that 8-goal game against Wayland. His shot is off the mark. Now the ball is in the X. Hendrickson will start it there, gets to the near side. Boberg, number 8, back to his teammate Hendrickson. Hendrickson finds a cutter. Oh, Temp just couldn't hang on to it as number 15 for Sauk got a cross on his. Nice play there by number 15 to keep Temp from catching that cleanly. We've seen many times this year if Temp catches outside of the crease, he can be very effective from that spot. Ball rolls out of bounds on the Eagles, so back to the Lightning it comes. Hendrickson looks for Newman. Newman took a little bit of a body check from Esser as he was trying to catch. And that one's picked off by Hendrickson. Hendrickson coming around, rolling through traffic, gets a shot off. But they're going to call him, I believe, for a ward. May have gotten his off arm kind of pushing a bit as he kind of laid his shoulder into one of the defenders there to try to clear some space. And I think he not only delivered a blow with the shoulder, but also may have extended that off arm. So ward call sends it back to the Eagles as they try to initiate their clear. Long pass up ahead. Roberts over there defending. Player goes down. Not sure if it was caused by contact of Roberts or not, but flag does come up. So probably going to get a push with possession would be my guess. Yep, that's the call. Push with possession, 30 seconds. Roberts will take a knee. Meanwhile, they'll have Adams out there. Adams is wearing number 11. I misspoke earlier. So defending column, we've got Brubaker, Adams, Salmon, Herring, number 5, and 36. Not sure who 36 is. It's not a typical number. Somebody must have left a jersey at home, but that will be the end of our first quarter. It was a lively first quarter, well played by both sides. 2-1 at the quarter mark. Sauk Prairie with the early lead. Just want to give a thank you out to all these wonderful sponsors that help fund this team you're watching, but also many of the youth teams in the area. in the Lightning umbrella with the U14, U12, U10 teams that are out there. Those teams still have about a week and a half yet left in their season. So I think they wrap up next weekend at some point. One late addition to this list I just want to mention is Schilling Supply Company. Also recently signed up as a sponsor, so don't have them on this list, but thank you to them as well. So as these two teams start to break up and get ready to start the second quarter, they'll flip ends. Looks like Collum's going to stay in goal for the Lightning, so he'll move to the right end, as you see it on your screen. And Ray Langer, the goalie for Sauk, will move to the left end. All right, so at the end of that quarter, Sauk had a player advantage, so we were in a penalty situation, and then Sauk had possession when that quarter ended, so they will forego the face-off, and Sauk will just start with possession. That's kind of how the rules work in a penalty situation where it ends. So if that had been a loose ball at the end of the quarter, they'd face it off. Sauk will begin going to work on the shorthanded Lightning. Sauk will pass around. There's a shooting lane that opens up for, and a save by Collum. Beautiful save. As that was Chetwood unleashed that shot. Ball is loose here in the middle. Herring's going after it with his deep hole. Here comes a big whack by Hendrickson as well. Finally knocked loose by Seehafer on the far side. That ball dribbles out of bounds. Who touched it last? It's going to the Lightning. Oh, now the officials want to talk this over. And I believe they're going to change the call there. So one official saw something that the other did not. And they will award this one to the Eagles. Back to full strength, though. We're back to 6-on-6 at this end. Coming downhill is Arietta. Being guarded by Seehafer. Now the ball is to the X. That's Kellogg back there, being guarded by 36. Ball's way up top now. Off your screen even. As Salmon, number 28, defends up there. Chetwood trying to get free. Does, but it's Collins there to make the save. Chetwood working to get his arm free from the defender's stick. Did finally, got a shot off, but Collins with another big save. These two teams met here on this field earlier in the season. And Sauk won that matchup. Brubaker on this side now. Eyes down 14. Kellogg on the X, being guarded by 36 of the Lightning. Scooped up, though. Lightning couldn't get to the loose ball. Got to have that one. There's Chetwood's long shot is saved easy by Collum. Chetwood just didn't quite get his normal velocity on that shot. It was a little further out than I think he wants to take, but Chetwood makes a nice play to pick this one off. Kellogg works around one player. He's going to have an opportunity, and he scores. Eagles get another one. That was set up by Chetwood's nice play in the midfield where he picked off that pass in the middle of a bunch of traffic. And that kind of created an instant transitional opportunity for the Eagles, which are great opportunities to get. And Kellogg makes the most of it. So back to the center. As this now is Boberg taking this face off. He's got help from... And there's another case where Roberts kind of trailing the guy. I think that's the second time that Roberts has stepped on the back of a player's foot, caused him to go down, and they end up calling him a penalty for a trip. So that's got to be frustrating for Roberts because he's not, certainly isn't trying to do anything. It's just getting his feet are just getting tangled up with the opponents. So unfortunate penalty there for the Lightning. So ball's off your screen, and it will come in once they whistle the action. There it is. So again, the Lightning are going to defend down a player. Chetwood's going to try a rip save by Collum. Collum looks to initiate the clear. Looks for Seehafer, who's got some space. So Seehafer with a chance to run some clock or maybe get a quick opportunity. We'll see which way they go with this. Looks like he's going to pull it back now as the defense settles in. And I think they might get an illegal pick there. So Temp's pick was a bit moving when it made contact. And that moves the ball over to the Eagle side. Seehafer trying to do a number on number 45. That's Struce Clark. Here gets past one and gets another goal for the Eagles. So a couple quick ones there for the Eagles. As that was Josh Mass, number 8. Got past the first defender, which I believe might have been Herring, and there wasn't many people left after that. Okay, back to the center. This is Salmon trying to win one here for the Lightning. Logan Sauter on the near wing. Herring on the far side, and they're going to call an illegal procedure on Frazee, which will give the ball to the Lightning. So Lightning need to get a little offense going here to answer the momentum that the Eagles have put together to start this second quarter. Hendrickson on the far side. Senior goal leader for the Lightning. He loses it. But we're going to get a push as loose ball push will award the ball to the Lightning. And Hendrickson will start the action far side. Hendrickson, beautiful stick check by Clem, knocks the stick out, and Hendrickson continued to kind of play the ball. Once you lose your stick, you cannot be involved in the play at all. You got to just go retrieve your stick, and Hendrickson did not do that right away. He hesitated a bit, and that caused the interference or the procedure call. But thankfully, Lightning get this one back. Seehafer up top, guarded by Clem. I think that's going to be a common phrase in this game. Ball's way over in this far corner. And now it's loose. Way comes Clem. He gets stick checked by Logan Sauter. Nice play by Sauter. It's caused that ball to come out of Clem's cross and dribble out of bounds. Sauter goes down. He slips. Holds onto the ball somehow. Oh, and that dangerous pass. And we're going to have a timeout called by the Lightning bench. to keep possession here for the Lightning. Lightning coming into this one, trying to score the upset. Sauk, the higher seeded team. Like I said, both of these teams played earlier this year. Second game of the season. And Sauk ended up beating Lacrosse 10-4 in that game. That was way back in April 10th, though. So lots changed since then for both teams. These two teams are currently both in the Badger Conference. News just came out, though, over the weekend, I think is when I saw it, that the Badger Conference is going to split next year into two different conferences. There will be part of the members will remain in the Badger, and then part of the members will be part of the Big Eight. So Lightning will actually be part of the Big Eight next year, and Sauk will be part of the Badger next year. So these two teams were conference mates for one season, and then they're going to go their separate ways next season. So like I said, Lightning took the timeout. They'll resume play. They'll have possession. Lightning need to get something going on the offensive end. Really haven't seen much for even shot attempts the last couple times down. So got to get something working here. We saw him run that weave a couple times up top, trying to just get some bodies maybe switched off, trying to maybe forcing some switching to happen. We saw that in the first quarter. We'll see what the coaching staff drew up here to come out of this timeout. Okay, so they're going to start in this near side. It's going to be Temp, number 21, initiating the action. Gets it down to Seehafer. Hendrickson shot, rips a shot. Raylinger's there. Raylinger, long pass up front, up ahead. Brubaker is able to corral that one. Brubaker hands it off to his goalie. Goalie comes back. Nice pass up ahead by a column. Here comes Hendrickson. Coaching staff wants Jacks to push it. He hands off, though, to Brubaker. Or, I'm sorry, to Boberg. Gets it this side to Temp. Temp drops it off to Seehafer. A lot of action through the middle of the field, trying to see if they can slip somebody on a cut or maybe have a defender lose track of somebody like they did to Logan Sauter earlier, but that pass goes out of bounds. Here comes the Eagles right away. This is Struce Clark. Being guarded by Alex Salmon. Stops his momentum, makes him turn back. Ball up top to Mast. Salmon's able to knock it loose. As it looked like Mast was maybe going to be able to get past him, but ball comes loose on over the top shot. As I believe that was Chetwood. Came up with a loose change outside the crease and reached up and over the top and dumped it over the top of Devin Collum. So Chetwood gets the Eagles' 5th mark on the board. Back to the center we go. This is Boberg. Roberts near wing. Salmon far wing. Frazie's been solid though. Frazie brings it himself, gets the touch. Frazie gets it to Clem. Now it's back over to the other side to Struce Clark. Chetwood, far side. Now to the X. This is Brubaker defending on this side. Now Maxime Roberts up top. Brubaker defending on the near side. There he is. Brubaker gets the ball to pop out and scooped up. And that ball's loose. Ball's up top. Stick check. Nice play by Roberts. Salmon staying in front. Good job positioning there. That pass is off the mark. Ben Lone will give chase over there, but it runs out of bounds, and it will be Lightning ball. Seehafer's going to try to split the double. He does. Gets it to Hendrickson. Hendrickson does not have Clem on him right now. You'd like to see him maybe go to work. Here comes Boberg. Boberg because it's past his. He takes a shot. Off the mark, just goes wide. That was a nice dodge by Boberg, though, to get himself clear and get a 10-yard shot. Raylinger gets things to the steady Clem. Clem dishes it off a mast. Roberts just can't hold it. Shoveled back to Brubaker. Brubaker looking for somebody. Oh, picked off by Mast. He gets past one, draws another. He's got a one-on-one opportunity. Scores. Is Mast similar to what we saw when Clem picked one off deep in the territory and got made an easy one for Kellogg. This time it was Mast picking one off and had no trouble taking it himself. Lightning just got to be better on that clear. As Boberg goes back to the center. Take on Frazie. Still looking for it. Frazie scoops it up. Frazie with the win. Stick check by Salmon, though. Nice play. Ball's loose. Dangerous spot here as Frazie comes away with it. Clem's going to take a big swing with his deep hole, which goes off the mark. But Sauk was back there. I think that was Kellogg was back there to be closest to it as it went out of bounds. We do have a flag down, though. I think we're going to get on maybe an unsportsmanlike penalty on Clem. I think Clem said something as he came off the field, and the referee heard it and did not appreciate it. So Clem is sitting. I believe they gave him a 2-minute unsportsmanlike locked in. So, chance, if ever there was a chance, Lightning needed to create some offensive momentum, this would be it. Just over 3 minutes left to go before the half. Lightning desperately need to get some offensive momentum going. Hendrickson looking to Boberg. Boberg's going to try one. A little underhand shot that sails high. Logan Sauter playing the X, though, keeps possession. Lightning just have to get shots here. You're almost guaranteed with a player advantage and Sauter camped out in the X that any shot, you're probably going to retain possession. So work around a little bit. When you get an open lane, they're going to unleash it. Over to Hendrickson. Hendrickson tries to get around one. Draws a penalty, saved by Raylinger. Oh, tries to shovel. We've got a ball loose in the front of the crease. Second flag is down. As that Hendrickson shot bounced off of Raylinger, was loose in front of the crease. I believe it was Sauter tried to shovel that one in. Might have been Newman tried to shovel that one in. But let's see what we've got called here. I thought there was two. I think it was two separate flags, but I could be wrong. So they got another locked in, and then a 30-second penalty. So they pulled 41 off. That's Kellogg. He's an attackman. He didn't have anything to do with that play. So my guess is that that penalty might have been on Raylinger. And because Sauk doesn't have a backup goalie, they have Kellogg taken that penalty. That would be my guess. Anyway, there's 3 Eagles. Now Eagles have 3 guys kneeling, but 7 players out on the field. So I think they got too many out there. I think the Eagles are playing with 1 player too many right now. Okay, 1 penalty is expired. Here comes Hendrickson. He draws another flag. Ball's loose in front of the crease, still loose. Lightning trying to play for it, trying to get this shot opportunity. Down to a minute 40 in the quarter. And we've got another stoppage as that play comes to an end. We're going to see who this penalty is on. So they're trying to sort this out. I believe they were playing with too many. They had 3 in the box. So there should only have been 6 out in the field, and they had 7 out on the field for that last exchange. I didn't see what was signaled, but we do have... So Sauk had 3 players in the box. 2 of those penalties expired. But now they just picked up another one, so now they have 2 players in the box. Hendrickson gets it to the near side. Seehafer's shot goes low, but stays with the Lightning. Lightning. All sorts of chances here, being 2 players up. Need to get something out of this. Seehafer works to the top as now I believe Eagles are back to full strength, but Seehafer's roller finds it past Raylinger. Seehafer's shot from 15 yards out, 17 yards out, screamed along the ground and got past. There's a lot of traffic in front of the goal. That could have been part of the problem for Raylinger, seeing that one come at him. as there was a bunch of players coming on and off in front of Raylinger, may have obstructed some of his view, but in any case, the nice shot by Seehafer gets a much-needed Lightning goal on the board, as they could not afford to have two multiple player advantages there and not get anything out of it. So Seehafer cashed in on the player advantage the Lightning enjoyed. And now Luke Boberg will go at it again in the middle with Frazee. Frazee just boxing him out, doing a good job. There's a reason he's got a pretty strong face-off percentage. There's a cutter right to the center. That's Chetwood. He'll wind around. The underhand shot goes. Wow, that was a beauty. It was pretty good defense on Chetwood as he came across the cut. He had a guy hanging right on him, but he caught it, spun around, gave the underhand shovel, and gets it past Column. It makes it 7-2. And this time it's going to be Salmon taking the face-off. Roberts on the near wing. Sutter on the far wing. And we're going to have a call here. It's going to go to the Eagles. Probably a loose ball push, maybe is what they called there, as Frazee went down with some contact. Defended by Roberts up top. Ball to the near side. Now Brubaker. As we got another flag down. And I think Clem got another unsportsmanlike. That's 2 from him. Same thing. He was running off the field, going right by probably the same referee. And he had to have just said something. And he gets another unsportsmanlike. Boy, he's in dangerous territory. That's 4 minutes of penalty. I think those were 2-minute calls on him. But if he's got 4 minutes of penalty, if he gets 1 more minute of penalty, he'll be out of this game. Seehafer now. Lightning with a player advantage. Let's see if they can take advantage of this one. Hendrickson's shot is good as he rips a laser. Jax Hendrickson coming up big on that one. Gets the shorthand, gets the player up at goal for the Lightning. And here's where we would see that locked in come into play. Normally, a more standard penalty. The player in the penalty box would be released after that goal, but in this case, locked in. It's when the referees gives the signal and he puts both hands over his head like you would for a safety, in football. But when he gives that signal, he's locked in. So he's got to serve the full time, even if Lightning score again. Boberg tried to get a little tricky there, but he gets called for the interference. Here's a shot by the Eagles, is saved by Column. Beautiful save, first of all, Column. Actually, I think it was deflected. It came right off the hand of a Lightning defender. And then the ball goes out of bounds. So there's the end of the half. as the Lightning get a couple there in that quarter to pull within 4. So we'll take a short break here. I'll recap a little bit of what we got so far. So Lightning, I think it was 4-1 at the end of the first quarter. Sauk Prairie add 3 more in this quarter. Lightning add 2 more in this quarter. So Sauk will go into halftime with the lead. These two teams will get back on the field in about 9.5 minutes. So I'll take a little short break, and we'll be back for the second half in a moment. All right. Well, the both teams have made their way back out onto the field. We do have a little potential weather in the area. Just let me tip here for you a little bit. We got some darker skies that direction. That there were some lightning flashes out in the distance. So they're currently announcing that there was a strike, lightning strike in the area. Maybe that's a good omen for the second half for the Lightning, but in any case, they're asking everyone to vacate the stadium here until we get the all clear. So I think that means I'm supposed to leave, and we'll be back after a bit. All right, folks. We had a bit of a weather delay come through Sauk Prairie, and we had some lightning strikes during the halftime break, and things got real dark. Sky got dark. Wind, the front moved in. Wind started blowing real bad. I think you may have seen on the video screen that there was a bunch of blowing rain and whatnot. That has all passed. The rain is completely subsided. That could see some clear skies poking through just a little bit ago. So they're letting the teams get warmed back up, and then we will have the second half for you here shortly. Just kind of a little bit of a recap for everybody of where we stand in this game. Kind of a little recap of the first half. The Lightning have their 3 goals by way of Hendrickson, Seehafer, and Sauter. Sauk started out pretty quick. I think they scored about 6 of their goals in about the first 15 minutes of game action. But then they had a ton of penalties in the second half of that second period. Really slowed their momentum down quite a bit. Actually had one of their players, one of their key defenders, I think has accumulated 4 minutes of penalty time already. So that could be a story in the second half as well. May have gotten a little bit of clarification that one person I talked to thought that number 22 got those penalties because he didn't have elbow guards on. So kind of surprising that he'd get called twice for not having the right equipment. But anyway, that's one theory out there as far as what happened to cause number 22, that's Clem, to take those 2 penalties. And actually, we've got to start this half. We've got there is one player on the Eagles who is still sitting in the penalty box. That is Clem, that got the second of his 2 penalties right shortly before the half. So he still has some time to serve on that penalty. And we're going to have a face-off here as the teams are getting themselves fired up for the start of this one. Looks like it's going to be Salmon starting things out for the Lightning in the center. Roberts is on this near side. And a win by Sauk. There's a shot and a save. We've got Owen Sauter has taken over in goal for the Lightning. Number 7 for the Lightning. Lightning are in the maroon, Sauk in the white. You can see Sauk came down with that loose ball. Newman was chasing him, but Sauk is able to advance it up. Sauk takes a shove, and Sauter's there to scoop it up. Sauter quickly looks ahead to Adams, but Adams can't corral it. Now it's over. Logan Sauter is trying to get a cross on it. He does. Nice pickup by Sauter. He's got a chance. He brings it down. Scott and a goal. Quick start for the Lightning. As Logan Sauter with a beautiful ground ball. Boy, he picked that one in some traffic cleanly and got out of there and set himself up for a goal chance, which he puts it away. Beautiful play by Logan. As he's making the most of this game. That's his second on the day. But yeah, it was really that ground ball that he had that set that up. Boy, that was a smooth pick off the turf. And the Lightning players are fired up on the far side. This is Boberg now in the middle facing off. And Frazee had the win initially, but Roberts has it now. Gets it off to Hendrickson. Hendrickson trying to get through some traffic and get a touch. There he does. Hendrickson on the far side. And he draws a call against Looks like number 5, I think that's Hill, may have fouled Hendrickson. So he's going to get a slash, 1 minute slash for Hill. Hill took a bit of a shot from Hendrickson too. I think that's about the second time Hendrickson has really gave him quite a body check as the offensive player. And I think both times it was on Hill, and Hill that time was a little shaken up, but he's the one that gets called for the foul. Ball's on the near side. Started by Hendrickson. Hendrickson dumps down to Newman. I'm sorry, that's Sauter. Now up top. Salmon loses it for a second. There's Salmon up top. Hands it off to Boberg, now far side. Cutter to Boberg. Boberg's shot is hits the post and goes in. Boberg with a give and go. With the pass off to, I believe it was Sauter on the wing, and Boberg immediately made a cut after he gave up that pass and takes the shot, and it hits the post. Huge goal there. And I need to update the score for you all. There we go. So Lightning with 2 quick ones as Frazee wins the face-off. Everyone's back to full strength now. Kellogg wraps around, gets it to Chetwood. Chetwood finds the cutting mast. Picked up there by Herring. Ball's loose, comes right free. That one might have hit the post and bounced off. Not sure if Sauter got a piece of that one or if it came off the post. There's a pass is off the mark. That's going to roll all the way back, nearly to midfield, but they stay on this side and keep possession. Good hustle there. Lightning are caught in a transition. Lightning were transitioning off and got caught shorthanded. So the Eagles get one as the Lightning were subbing. All right, so the Eagles answer back to get this thing back to a 3-score lead for them. I had there's the face-off whistle, and Clem comes away with it. I guess they called possession. It didn't look like they had possession, but looks like Clem has got two flags now as the Lightning are fired up, and maybe too fired up there as I think they're going to get called for a couple penalties. Actually, there's 3 penalties as that one referee now threw both his flags and his hat. So a lot to sort out here as these referees will meet and try to figure out how they're going to apply this. I think that Clem may have gotten the initial call looked like it was probably a slash, I believe, on somebody on the Lightning. But then I'm not sure on the next 2. Talking things over, I'll see if I can make out what the calls are here. So they're announcing to the scorers table what's going on. We do have a slash, 32nd slash on Sauk Prairie. And not sure who the third one was on. So it looks like Herring is taking a knee for the Lightning. Anyway, so looks like Lightning will be defending with 3. Looks like Eagles will be attacking with 5. I'm sorry, defending with... Should be attacking with 4. All right, so yes, Lightning have 2 taking a knee. Sauk Prairie Eagles have 1 taking a knee. I think the action's going to start down here at this end. And yes, it starts with the Lightning up top. So the last foul must have been on the Eagles. So that gives the possession to the Lightning. But Lightning only have 3 at this end. And they're going to try to just kill this penalty. As Jax Hendrickson, he takes a shot. There's a shot by Seehafer as Hendrickson drew a crowd, but saved by Renlinger. So, boy, Lightning had actually a good look there. Now this ball's loose, and we're going to have a loose ball push goes to the Eagles. Intensity picking up out there. So now Lightning will defend with 5, and Sauk will attack with 5, because I think that first one, there's a score by the Eagles. As one of the penalties had a lapse, so they were even strength there on that Sauk Prairie score. But now all the penalties will be released, so we should be back to full strength for everybody. But one of those, that Sauk Prairie must have been a locked-in penalty, because they have not released that player yet. Okay, there's a face-off win. Boy, big win by Frazee. Frazee's bringing it downhill. He'll take a shot, and he scores. Boy, big face-off win by Frazee. And again, he got it free and clear and took it right downhill and scored against Sauter. So now the Eagles answer with some emotion, and they get on the board. All right, back to the center. I believe this is Luke Boberg taking this face off. Yes, it is. He's taking on Frazee. Ball rolls back. Loose ball. And Temp comes away with it. Good win for the Lightning. Need to get a little momentum back their way. Temp thought about it for a second. But now he's going to dump it off as Herring's going to come off. All right. Anyway, not sure what happened there, but they awarded the ball to and things are getting a little touchy out there. As there we got another foul called, a slash, 30-second penalty on, I believe, Sauter. So Sauter will take a seat, and the Lightning are going to defend with 5 against the Eagles 6. So we got Luke Adams out there, Herring's out there, Brubaker's there, number 36, who's Youngman, and Roberts. So I know in the first half I did not know who 36 was. That is Youngman. Eagles passing around. Luke Adams, and there's a, oh man, it looked like Owen Sauter had a beat on that one, but that one gets past him. And
Sauk Prairie goal.
looked like he had a good view of that one. And usually Owen would make that save. So I'm not sure what's going on, but they've moved. Owen's going to come off, and Column's going to come on. As Owen Sutter just didn't seem to be seeing the ball well there. That would be a save. Like I said, that shot there was not a difficult shot to save. So I'm not sure. We've got a loose ball push. This will go to the Eagles. Clem gets it over to his teammate on the far sideline. That's Strathman. Now the ball's down in the X, being defended by Brubaker down there. Gets around Brubaker, stick check, knocks it out temporarily, but back to Chetwood. Frazee gets it over to his teammate. Now it's all the way over. Now Youngman's going to chase after this loose ball. Youngman still loose. Youngman battling. Oh, takes a big push. Takes a big push from Strathman. And I think they're going to get Strathman for that one. So both teams coming out fired up after that long break due to the inclement weather. Kind of some pent up energy, and both teams being very aggressive and paying for it in the penalty box. So Lightning are going to be up. The ball's going to start on the far side. And boy, having a hard time getting some of these restarts organized here. All right, needed to find a ball apparently. There we go. So Afer is going to center this ball up top. So Afer will start off your screen to the left. You'll see him step in here in a moment. Lightning up player. As Hafer gets the touch. Hendrickson, little hidden ball trick. Saw this against Wayland. That time passes off the mark to Newman. Lightning should be able to corral this one before it gets over. Temp is back there to get it. Boberg. Hafer. I'm sorry, that was Hendrickson. Dodge here by Temp. Temp with a goal. Temp with a nice little face dodge to get past the initial defender and step inside of that defender and get a shot off that gets past Raylinger.
Lightning goal.
So Temp gets the sixth one on the board for the Lightning. And that does not release the Eagle penalty. So there's Clem working his way down, showing off some good skills there with the deep hole. And they're going to... Sauk is willing to just run this clock out as this penalty timeout as the Lightning bring a double team on to number 8, Mast. Mast still with the ball over in the corner. Now works against Roberts. Roberts has switched to a deep hole for this possession. Ball up top to Clem. This has got to be getting close to letting this penalty expire. And again, Sauk just willing to pull this one out. Here comes to Chetwood in the center. Youngman's right there. Youngman stayed with him. Didn't let Chetwood have any space there. So good play. Nice play by Youngman against the Eagles' most dangerous offensive player. So he made good contact but didn't overcommit. Didn't get off balance. And didn't give Chetwood the ability to get past him. So good play by Youngman. That ball's up ahead, but picked off by Mast. We saw this twice in the first half, some transition opportunities. This time Mast will pull it back out and run some more penalty clock. Okay, looks like the penalty is expired. Both teams back to even strength. Now Lightning got to match up. And try to get this ball back. Brubaker back there defending. Brubaker pushing his player around. That ball is going to get over and is going to be over and back. So Lightning will start. This is Seehafer bringing it on. Boberg up top. Off the post is Hendricks' shot. Off the post and ricochets all the way out of bounds, but Lightning are closest to it. They'll retain possession. Ooh, I think Seehafer may have got away with a little ward there. Here comes Hendrickson. He brings it down the left side. Looks for one in the middle. That was Temp. Temp took a big shot. There's a bouncer by Boberg that's off the mark. Hustling to get it is Newman, but Raylanger beats him to the end line. So hustle play by Raylanger to get possession back for his team. That one's up for grabs, but Clem comes away with it. Clem's mark. Ooh, dangerous there as Chetwood had nobody in front of him. But Clem's pass to Chetwood is off the mark. Lightning will set up the clear. Adams initiates over here to Youngman. Youngman thought about tiptoeing the sideline, but finds Seehafer instead. A lot of white shirts over there. They're going to get a timeout as there was a lot of traffic. Good call by the Lightning bench as they were struggling. They were all bunched up on this near sideline with no place to go with it. So these two teams will talk it over after a frantic third period so far. Kind of reminder here, and the winner of this game will move on to play Friday, the 29th. They will travel, whoever the winner is, will travel to Madison Edgewood. This is one of the top teams in the state. Edgewood had a first round bye, so they did not play yesterday or today, but they will await the winner of this game. Lightning trying to pull off the upset. All right, so after the Lightning timeout, they will have the ball on the near side. Looks like Hendrickson's going to start things off. And Hendrickson will walk it across easily. Sometimes you'll see those attackmen kind of wall up there in front of them, but they just kind of let them pass over. Here's a shot. Oh, a bouncer gets past the goal as Temp had worked to the middle and just shot wide. Newman was back there, though, to retain possession. Seehafer with a nice catch and some heavy traffic. Seehafer gets around one. He'll try a shot that dribbles past. That was deflected. Somebody got a body on that one before it got to Rainlinger. And we're going to have a crease violation. I believe that was maybe on Temp, because he may have stepped in the crease. Rainlinger will take a long pass up ahead. He's got a wide open player up there. There's a shot that gets past Collum. The defense there got beat a little bit. The long pass.
Sauk Prairie goal scored by number 8, Josh Mann.
The long pass by Rainlinger. Got it up front, and then it looked like the Lightning defender may have charged a little too hard at that player, and he was dodged easily, and that gave a good shot attempt for the Eagles. I like to see those defenders close out on ball carriers, but they have to do it under control. Youngman did a nice job of that earlier, but there's a shot by Chetwood. Shot and goal by Chetwood. That makes it 13-6.
Sauk Prairie goal scored by number 17.
As Chetwood has started to heat up now. Two minutes left in this third quarter. There's a face-off. And it's going to be awarded to the Lightning. I think that was another case. We saw that in the first half with Frazee just getting the ball kind of stuck in the backside of his cross. They face off with the backside of their cross, and then you can only have it in there for a little bit before you got to get rid of it. You got to get it out of there. Either flip it up to yourself or flip it back to a teammate or something. That time he held it too long, and it's Lightning ball. Here comes Hendrickson across the top. Gets a pick from Temp. Hendrickson draws a double. Tries for the bouncer. That's off the mark, and the race for it will go to Lightning. Hendrickson finds the cutter. Bullberg's bouncer just goes wide. That was another nice play, another little give and go. We got another crease violation, though, on the Lightning. That turns it over. Newman will apply pressure deep in the Eagle territory. Ringlinger's long pass up ahead. This time there's a Lightning player there. And Logan Sauter comes away with it. Sauter gets the touch for the Lightning. Now up top, Hendrickson. He comes downhill. He rips a shot. Rainlinger, beautiful save. But the shovel is good. Who was that? That was maybe Logan Sauter picking up the loose change and not even attempting to scoop it up and shoot it. More just a shovel, just like you're sweeping the dust off the floor. He sweeps it right into the goal. Nice play, good heads-up play there. I'm going to give that one to Sauter. I think he was the one that shoveled it in. And Lightning strike back. So Lightning trying to get this thing with 50 seconds left. And we've got another procedure call against Frazee. Ball's up top, over to Temp. Temp up top, off your screen. There he is. Temp's going to come downhill. Gets past one, draws a second one. Clem knocks the ball loose, though, and Temp's trying to corral the loose ball, but he's going to get pushed in the back, so he'll keep possession. Temp will bring it back over to the alley for the restart. Temp looking for somebody in the middle of the field. Not there. Now Seehafer will wind around. He gets it up top. There's a shot attempt. That one's saved by Rainlinger. That time that was Alex Salmon with the rip, but Rainlinger was right there. There's a penalty on Hendrickson. Hendrickson's shot is good. That's got to count. He released it after the horn. He released that one shot after the horn. That one should be good. You just got to get it off before the horn sounds. It can go in after. They're talking through, boy, from here it sure seemed like that horn sounded after he had released that shot. But we'll see. Referees are going to talk this over. And they're going to say no goal. They're going to say no goal. Oh, not sure I agree with that one. In any case, Hendrickson draws a penalty, though. So Hendrickson drew a penalty. There was a flag down on that. They haven't declared who it's on. And so end of the third quarter, we'll update this. We'll be starting the fourth here in a moment. Just waiting to see what they're going to call. I missed the call, but I wonder, that penalty may have been on Clem. That might have put him over the limit. He might be out at this point. He's kind of walking around with his helmet on, looking a little dejected. AJ Clem, number 22, he got a couple penalties in that first half for inappropriate equipment, I believe is what they got him for. And I want to say that they got him on this one. He's been the primary defender of Hendrickson, and it was Hendrickson that drew that foul. So I think it's on 22. And yes, he has been disqualified at this point. So Clem is out. He will sit this last quarter as he's amassed too much penalty time. And so the Eagles will be without, in my opinion, their best defender. Maybe other than Rainlinger. Rainlinger in goal is solid as well, but Clem is a special player. So interesting turn here. We'll see if that loosens anything up for the Lightning. Clem was kind of at the center of a lot of action. He would sometimes be the guy helping win faceoffs. He was the guy that took the ball when they needed to kill penalties. He's been primarily matched up on Hendrickson, who is the Lightning's top scorer on the year. So certainly that's a big loss for the Eagles. All right. So Hendrickson's shot at the end of the third quarter was wiped off. They said it was too late. There's a shot by Hendrickson over the top. That one's going to bounce out of bounds, but Sauter's there to keep possession. And Sauk will be defending shorthanded for a bit here as they run out that Clem penalty. Lightning get it down to the X. That's Sauter. Now it's over to Seehafer. Seehafer looks. He's got a deep hole on him. Back to Sauter. Sauter is going to draw a foul as he took too much contact to the back of the head from maybe East Esser. They may have gotten him. Boy, Sauk just racking up the penalties in this game. This isn't what we saw out of them in the first meeting. So just really getting called for a lot of penalties. I'm sure Coach Byer is not happy with what he's seeing there. So I think they're going to get him for a push with possession. I think it's going to be just a 30-second penalty. It is Esser that got called for that one. So Lightning will start near alley. That's Seehafer. We'll get it up top to Temp. Eagles having to defend with 4 now. Boy, there's got to be some good shooting lanes here with no Clem and 2 less defenders out there. That ball, good hustle. Need to keep that one in bounds. Temp comes away with it. Nice ground ball by Temp. Temp looks to try to get it across. He does. Score! Milo Temp pushed the action and got it to Boberg on the weak side, who puts it home. Beautiful play there. Temp with a hustle to keep that one in bounds. They needed to keep that possession. And Luke Boberg, the beneficiary on the weak side with a nice catch and quick release. That's usually a Milo Temp specialty. Boberg taking a page out of his teammate's book. That gets the Lightning another point, so they're up to 8. Back to the middle. Here's Salmon. Salmon tries to kick it to himself, but Mast is there to get it for the Eagles. Oh, beautiful save by Sauter. I'm sorry, that's Collum. Beautiful save by Collum. Ball's in front. He doesn't see it. There's a turnover. Seaver's got it. He finds his open teammate on the far side. Who's that? That's Herring, I think. Yes. Herring carries it forward, gets it over to teammate. Hendrickson's pass. Is that a pass or a shot? Well, it doesn't matter. It's crease violation. Crease violation is Lightning player stepped in that yellow circle. It's a little hard to see on your screen, I'm sure, but there's some yellow lines on the field that are the lacrosse special lines there, marking the alleys and the crease. Everyone back to full strength. After the Boberg goal, everyone's released. So here comes the Eagles, setting things up. Up by 5. Lightning having to extend their D a little bit, as the Eagles probably are in no hurry. Herring's got a chance. Ball's loose. Struce Clark comes back away with it, though, for the Eagles. There's a shot deflected. Nice play by Brubaker. He ate that shot, and it harmlessly ricochets out of bounds. It will stay with the Eagles in this corner. Now to the X. Brubaker working on Kellogg. Kellogg shot to Chetwood is good. Chetwood with too good of a look there. Again, the Lightning were caught in a little bit of a do I bring the slide or not? As Kellogg works from the X and he works to Chetwood's side. Lightning have a dilemma, Do they come off? Do they slide and help on the X, Dodger? Or do they stay home with Chetwood? Win by the Eagles. And we're going to have a slash called on Logan Sauter. But the Eagles will finish their possession out. Hopefully the Lightning can keep them from scoring. Here's it looked like Frazee might have had a chance here. Here comes Kellogg again, trying to work past Brubaker, and he scores, and he draws a foul. Kellogg working across, working through Brubaker. Brubaker had him tied up, but with one hand, he was able to reach out and dump that one over Column. So that goal is going to be good. And we'll see if that second flag gets waved off or if they're going to enforce both of these penalties. Looks like it's just going to be the one. So second one that happened during the score probably was just called a hold and probably got waved off. So the initial penalty, though, is in effect. So Brubaker is going to take that one. And here comes the Eagles. So Eagles will attack with an extra player. Defending out there for the Lightning is Roberts, Boberg, Herring, Youngman. There's a shot saved by Column up in the air. It's loose, bounces back to Column, picked off by Chetwood. Chetwood's going to shoot off the post. Another shot attempt. This one's good. As Struce Clark picked up the ricochet after Column with the initial save on Chetwood. But boy, that has been 3 or 4 goals where the Lightning have just made an initial pass of the clear is just poorly executed and allowing Eagles to pick it off deep in the territory and instantly have a scoring opportunity, and they've cashed in on some of these. Boberg in the middle. Teams both at full strength. There's a false start by Frazee. Will award the ball to the Lightning. Boberg will go over to the sideline and exchange his face-out stick for his field stick. Boberg up top. Tries a little dodge. Gets past one. Tries a shot. That one's wide. Newman's there, though. Newman will start the action from the X. Gets it to Hendrickson on the top. Hendrickson will rip a shot. That one's deflected. I believe number 11 got a piece of that one for the Eagles. And now the ball is loose, still trying to get it back. Sauter chasing him. Eagles making some contested passes, but so far haven't turned it over. Eagles on the attack now. Eagles cutter to Chetwood, hits bouncers, goes wide. And Kellogg is there. Kellogg is in the X. He'll dump it over to the near side. That's Strathman. Coming back into your frame now. Now the ball's up top. All the way over to the other side. Defending up there. Gets past Sauter. There's a shot. Chetwood saved by Column. Column, good positioning there. Walling up in front of him. Given no place for that low ball to go. Here comes Column's going to walk this up. Looking for somebody to get it to. Just puts that one up into the... Oh, and comes free. This is Newman. Eagles recover quickly, though. It looked like Newman may have had a window for a second, but he probably didn't have the angle. There's a shot attempt. Logan Sauter off the mark. Ball will start right corner, far left corner, sorry. Ball up top to Seehafer. Seehafer gets past one. Draws a crowd. Big contact there. We do have a flag down. as, again, an Eagle player is heading to the box. Boy, I don't know how many penalties this has been. This is probably about the most penalties on a team that I think I may have ever seen. In any case, so Eagles will sit one. Ball will start in the far alley. Hendrickson flipped it to Boberg. Boberg back to Hendrickson. Hendrickson's big rip off of Raylinger's chest. Ball's loose. Temp going after it. Hendrickson going after it. Hendrickson comes away with it. But I believe he's going to get called for a push-off, or ward, I guess, maybe when he had the ball. Raylinger will look ahead to his teammate. Crosse, he'll take a shot. That goes wide as Struce Clark got that ball in the middle of the field and tried to get a shot off. Kellogg will start from the X. Lightning trying to double team the ball carriers. They've got a player up. Salmon working for it in the middle of the field. But he's going to get called for that little push. It wasn't much, but there was a little push there. Apparently enough to call. Seehafer, he knocks the ball loose, gets it to Brubaker, and they're going to get a loose ball push this time on the Eagles. So back to the Lightning. Lightning, under 5 minutes to play now. Need to score in a hurry. Seehafer pushed out of bounds, but I think they got the timeout beforehand. So timeout called by the Lightning as Seehafer was in danger of getting pushed out of bounds. We'll take a couple seconds here just to thank our sponsors again for this 2026 season. Okay, as the teams kind of break up from the timeout. So as the teams break up from their timeout, we've got that timeout called by coaches Vanderberg and Wilson on the Lightning bench. Keeps possession as Seehafer was finding himself in a little bit of trouble. Seehafer will be the one to start the action far sideline, right in front of the Eagle bench. As everyone getting ready to set, and here we go. Here comes Seehafer down the far alley. There's a flag down for another slash. Here's Hendrickson, winds up and takes a shot. It sails wide, but we'll have a stoppage again. There's another Eagle player is going to head to the box. All right. Sorry for the lack of sound there. I had a important call to take for a few minutes there, but in any case, you saw some of the action, I hope. As the Lightning trying to claw their way back into this thing. Under 3 minutes to go, though, now. 6-point lead to overcome. So that one, I think, was just scored by Logan Sutter, I want to say. Makes it 16-10. Face-off win by the Eagles. Look, Boberg comes away with it. He's running through some people. I think he might get, what are we going to call here? You get called for a ward or they got a timeout? I think he got called for a ward. So he was kind of working that off arm a little too much, I think is what they called. So it's going to go to the Eagles. As the Eagles step in. Just want to acknowledge some of this team's, the team's seniors here, as it's kind of becoming more and more a reality that this may be their last game here. So Jax Hendrickson, number 2, just had an exceptional season. Had a little bit of a slow start, but really came on the second half. Really was kind of did it all for the Lightning. Sad to see him move on. Jacob WIAA, who I don't think is here tonight, another senior. Max Brubaker, you've seen him play a ton out there, number 4. Just a very physical presence, always hustling out there. Daniel Vanderloop, number 16, he's a senior as well. Logan Sauter, number 23, who you can see in the frame right now. Logan Sauter had a nice game today with some ground ball action, number of goals. I think I have him down for 3 goals, maybe 4. Maxime Roberts, number 34, also a senior. A lot of hustle and toughness out of Roberts this season. And Brett Youngman, today usually wears 44, but today wearing 36. Kind of a do-it-all, anything you need from him. He's the type of guy that will take on any challenge. So there's a bouncer that's off the mark. As time is winding down here with 56 seconds. So the Lightning are going to end this season with a mark of 2-13. Played with a lot of spirit here tonight against Sauk Prairie. Saw a lot of growth out of a lot of players this year. Here comes Hendrickson trying to get one more. He's going to draw some flags. But with 40 seconds left, it's going to be too little for the Lightning. That's number 20. That's Leiden Boberg. Out there trying to get around some defenders, but we'll get the penalty assessed here as we close out the rest of the quarter. So Lightning are going to close this one off. They try a little trick play there, close thing out, but nothing doing. And Sauk will finish this game, and we've got a big hit at the end that was really uncalled for. And really with 9 seconds left, no need to put a big hit on anybody. So hopefully at number 15, that's Ketover. Hopefully Ketover's all right. All right, so with 9 seconds left, we'll start to wrap things up here. Again, Sauk will go on. This will be Sauk's 8th victory of the year, so they've had a nice turnaround from a year ago, getting 8 victories on this season. They'll go on to take on Madison Edgewood on Friday. As we get everything sorted out here, we just need to run these final 9 seconds off the clock. So, there we go. Start the action. 9 seconds left. 3 seconds left. And that will do it. There's your game. As the Sauk Prairie Eagles will advance to the second round of the playoffs. The Lightning in their second WIAA season will come to an end. Thanks all everybody for joining. Enjoy your evening.